Welcome back to Fandomly Speaking,
where each week we speak randomly about fandom. I'm Liza.
And I'm Melissa. And this week we are going to get random with a very special guest and our very first interview. Marissa Silva from the Toy Insider and the Pop Insider is here.
Yeah, so usually I say that there may be spoilers, but I don't think we're talking about anything we're going to be spoiling this week.
We might spoil. You never know.
There may
you
be
never
spoilers.
know where we're going to go. There might be spoilers. So also warning, we are two Gen X autistic women. We are unmasked and overstimulated, and we have no idea what's going to come out of our mouths.
Not usually.
Not usually. No. So anyway, I am going to bring into the podcast Marissa Silva. Here we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Marissa.
How's it going?
Welcome to Fandomly Speaking.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Oh, we're so excited. We are super, super excited. Tell the folks at home a little bit about who you are and why we would have you on a podcast about fandoms.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. So, my name's Marissa Silva. I am the editor-in-chief of the Toy Insider and the Pop Insider. So I've been working in the toy industry for almost 13 years. And then, Toy Insider is sort of like our consumer gift guide and resource for like parents and caregivers looking for toys. But we also have the toy book in our portfolio, and that's really like all about the trade and like the business behind toys. So a little bit of a toy and play expert. And then in 2018, we launched the Pop Insider, which is really like my most precious little baby, because it's really all focused on fandom and pop culture and all of the merch and the licensed products that you can get to celebrate all the fandoms that you love.
So before we get started, I do want to share with the two of you and everyone else out there, because by the time this airs, this will be public knowledge. I'm going to try to add this so that everyone can see it. Are you ready? This is what I did this week in Geeking.
Let's see.
Ooh! It's my Draculaura tattoo.
Now, you let everybody help you choose that on Instagram. I saw the whole drama unfold.
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah.
It looks so nice.
That's on my calf, if you can't figure out what part of my anatomy that might
body
be.
part is that?
And I'm absolutely in love with her, and it's my first actual fandom tattoo. And we're going to be interviewing in a few weeks my tattoo artist, because she does a lot of fandom tattoos.
That's awesome.
And so circling back to Marissa, fandom and adults, and this term kidult. Is that really a new thing?
It's a great question. No, I like to say no, but I do think that in this like current world, Gen X, right? Mm-hmm. And millennials are really like the first two like video on demand generations where like we not like your earliest childhood memories, but eventually you can remember a point where like growing up, you could pop in a VHS tape, right? Like you could watch and watch over and over again your favorite movies, your favorite TV shows, like LOL, remember those like box sets of like one season had like 8 discs of like a TV show or whatever. And so because of that, because like we got to rewatch things over and over and over again, I feel like our two generations are like the first two that have this like excessive obsession with fandom. So I think
that's a great explanation for why that happened. Wow. My mind is like, oh, yes, even cable, even like when my mom finally relented and we got HBO, like you could watch the same movie, 10 times in a month.
Or like if you recorded it yourself, like I did, like I'd like wait for it to come on cable and like pop in the blank VHS tape and be recording over whatever dance recital was on there previously. But I think like that's why we feel so much more connected, is like this stuff was so much more available. And like, I mean, compared to today, it's like night and day, right? Like I had to explain to my 3-year-old what a commercial was the other day, because she was like, turn this up. We were like watching regular TV and she was like, I don't like this movie. And I was like, it's a commercial. Just wait 30 seconds and it'll be over. But so like now it's like to the nth degree, right? But like I do feel like we were the first two generations to really experience the rewatch, which led to the like real obsessions.
And it's so
super
weird. I
obsessed.
used to rewatch stuff just constantly.
Always.
I mean, it was just, if I loved it, it was just over and over and over again.
yeah.
And now there's so much to watch that I'm like, well, I've already watched that. I need to watch something else. But I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, I was just constantly rewatching my favorites.
Yeah.
There are a lot of,
and I just saw an article that said that there is actually some scientific basis to the idea that us rewatching like a TV show or a favorite movie does actually calm our anxiety.
100%.
It's not our imagination. And I was like, yeah, I knew that. That's why I keep watching Gossip Girl.
Nice.
It's so real. Like when you know how something is going to end and you know exactly what to expect, there's no surprises, right? Like life, haha, especially right now, is surprising. And you're just like, everything is so like crazy. And if you can rewatch, in my case, like my comfort show is Gilmore Girls. I've seen it 1,000 times. Like I'll just keep rewatching it over and over again. Or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like I know the good guys are going to come up on top. I know exactly how it's going to end. I know there's going to be a new monster next week, but I know that monster too, so everything's going to be fine.
So now growing up, were you, like Liza and I were both like very geeky girls who didn't necessarily like all of the same things the other girls who were not like the other girls. Were you a geek or?
Yeah, like are you asking if I showed up to the 6th grade dance being the only person in a full vampire costume? Or
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am. We've already had a whole episode on vampires, just all the vampires.
Love the vampires.
Love the
so
vampires.
You really did that, huh?
Listen, it was a Halloween party. Like it was supposed to be a costume party. And I have this like core, like most embarrassing moment memory of like showing up to the dance in my like full vampire costume, full face makeup, prosthetic teeth, like the whole thing. And absolutely not one single other soul was in a costume.
Oh no.
And like this is again like pre cell phones, and so like I just was there, and like I couldn't be like, Dad, please turn around and come pick me up. No, it was just like I am now here for 3 hours in this costume, just having but no, like I wore a lot of like
you got
homemade clothes, and
you got Bridget Jones.
Yes, I did. It's so real.
Yeah, so you were also not like the other kids, and so you were into vampires.
Yep.
As a tween.
Yeah, vampires. It was like my dad and I's like tradition. Like I was definitely too young to be watching Buffy in real time when it was on, but he loved it and I liked it, and so he was like, all right, whatever. Like I guess she's fine, and so like we would watch the show together. As like our little
I
thing.
never hear of men watching Buffy. That's kind of amazing.
I love that.
Me too.
My dad loves vampires, loves fantasy, like books, and
awesome.
He's super into that. It's like kind of a little shared hobby for us.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is so sweet until like you think about some things that actually happened in the show and you watch it as an adult and you were like, Dad,
I shouldn't have watched that.
No way. No shot.
So much of my childhood are things that I should not have been seeing or
for
reading.
sure.
Yeah. Well, in my house, we had unsupervised access to any book in the house because like reading is reading.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody in the house was a reader. So I was going between like hard sci-fi. And then my mom used to read this author, Taylor Caldwell, and they were all just like romances with spicy times.
Lots of spice.
You know, I mean, it was reading. It was good for me.
Sure.
Reading was
good,
fundamental.
Good for you.
So is your husband into fandoms and stuff?
Yeah, he is. My husband Chris is like a very big gamer, loves video games, and like anything like sci-fi, like we've been watching a lot of Black Mirror right now. He's like very obsessed with like AI and VR and like all the emerging technologies. But yeah.
So he sees what's going on and is like, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
To Black Mirror. Yeah. What's going on in our society right now? It's like a whole Black Mirror episode.
Oh dear. Okay, well I'm going to have to watch that maybe so that we can talk about it, because Liza and I, we just did our episode about the Hunger Games, and there's probably going to be more episodes about the Hunger Games because we just keep, and so now we've rewatched like all the movies, and
what did we talk for like 3 hours that day?
Yeah. It hits so differently now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, we had a couple, my husband and I had a couple of really disturbing moments because we were like, when we first watched this movie, like in the first Mockingjay movie, they, what's his name? Flickerman, Caesar, he's interviewing PETA. And, you know, when we first all watched the movie and read the book, that seemed ridiculous. Like it was just like, oh, you know, it's so stupid. That's so obviously, oh, it's so obviously propaganda. And now we're sitting there, we're like, oh my God, it looks like Fox News.
It does.
Like this is really happening now. Yeah. People are sitting there and, you know, brainwashed and saying weird shit.
Yeah. So. If you haven't, there's a brand new Black Mirror episode on the newest season called Common People that everyone is talking about as like this horrifying concept. But it's a great like first watch because it's more of like a dark comedy. It's like Rashida Jones is in it, and it's like it's funny and it's not funny at all. It's a really good one to watch as like your first watch, I think, because they are very clear commentaries on like what we do currently as a society, but like taken to a whole other level, and it's not far off from what you can imagine being real, which is I think why people find it so scary.
So we were talking about Kidults, a word I hate, but it seems like it's going to stick at least with the toy industry and the press. Are there like stats on how much of a part of now the toy buying is actually adults buying toys for themselves? Even things like, I know like when we're at Sweet Sweet and like last year Rainbow Bright and you know, it was all women in their like 30s and 40s were screaming over the Rainbow Bright stuff.
Rainbow
like,
Bright and Strawberry Shortcake are huge.
Oh yeah, now. You should have seen me at Toy Fair when there's a company that had a full Lisa Frank line, and when I tell you, I lost my mind in the booth, and everyone was like, "Is she okay? Like this is for children." But anyway, yes,
the kids don't get it. They don't get it.
Stickers are not meant to be stuck to anything; they're meant to just look at. Okay,
that's right. We collect them.
But anyway, yes, Kidults, for better or worse, the term is terrible. I agree. But the toy industry has really like latched onto it. But toy industry overall is $28 billion industry. Kidults, ages 18 and over, who are buying toys for themselves, not like just someone, an adult buying toy for a kid, but for them is almost $8 billion of that 28 billion. So it's huge over the last like year from 2024 to from 23 to 24. Circana reported that there was like over $800 million in growth. So it's a huge uptick from what people were seeing previously. And a lot of it's about nostalgia. A lot of it is about like companies, you know, bringing old properties back so that we're all like in love, and now we have the expendable income, and you know, we're excited to like buy these toys that we didn't get to have as kids. But something that's also important is that there's just way more out there. There's way more to buy in general. Yeah. And there ever was.
There's also a lot of collectors. My husband is a massive collector. I mean, he has just rooms and rooms full of figures, action figures, and he makes figures and paints figures. I mean, he has spent half that $8 billion on his figures, you know. So so much of it is not now just toys for little kids, or that the toy makers are looking at what kids want. They're looking at what adults want. They're looking at what appeals to adults.
And they can charge you
selling
more.
$200 figures. Yeah, he buys these amazing but really expensive figures all the time. So
is he getting like the hot toys?
Hot toys.
Gentle Giant.
So cool.
They're beautiful. I mean, they're literal pieces of artwork, and like these sculptors have massive followings, and the designers have massive followings, because it's really not like you're not just buying a movie likeness, you know, Hasbro figure, which some people collect and they're awesome, but like those really high end pieces that cost hundreds of dollars, like you're going to keep them, you're going to display them. It's an investment, and it's a piece of artwork. But to that point, they cost way more. So like you're looking at a skewed stat in a way, because we're not talking about a $5 collectible. We're talking about toys that, you know, look at the Lego botanical sets, like they're $60, $70, $80. So it's easier to like drive bigger sales, but it's like less SKUs, like less pieces and more money. which is a
That makes sense.
a winning formula if you have a business.
Yeah.
You want to charge way more for less stuff.
So Liza and I have talked about our embarrassing moments at conventions. Yes. Now I know. So you have this really, really wait till the podcast launches, Marissa. You really have to listen because you were going to hear some. Liza made a fool out of herself. That's all I'm going to say. It was.
I can't wait.
I did. Probably more than once. That won't be the only embarrassing story that gets told.
I
in
am
this podcast.
completely incapable of having cool around famous people.
Same.
So before we talk about cons, I want to know, like, have you met any famous people in your time doing?
I want to hear. Let me get my tea. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah. So I will say that I am, quote unquote, the boss, and I so quickly give those opportunities to my edit team. No, you could say it's not out of the kindness of my heart. It is out of I am so awkward, and like that whole process of like interviewing a celebrity like cripples me with anxiety. So I'm like, oh honey, this is for you go do this, like it's totally fine. But no, I have met a couple of people. I remember my very first Comic-Con that I attended was in New York in 2013, and this was like way before it was a big deal, honestly. Like
I was there. We may have bumped into each other.
I'm sure we did. But yeah, like you could go to a panel and like sit down, and like there were chairs. You'd have to wait in a line, and then like you could get up, and all the people from the panel would just like come hang out with you for a while. There was nothing in the room like immediately following the panel. So one of the first ones I went to was for Transformers, and Will Friedle, who I knew from Boy Meets World, was the voice of one of the Transformers characters. So I sat there, I like went through the panel, and after I was just like patiently waiting, and I didn't have to wait that long. It was like 2 seconds, and I was just like, just take a photo, please. Like I was like so excited to see. He was like my big brother growing up in my head. You know what I mean? Like he had that like kind of effect. And then one time I met Cyndi Lauper, and that was easily one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, because it was during Comic-Con, but we were at a studio, and I was taping a segment, like showing off like the best toys coming out of con, and she was just there like taping something, promoting whatever she was promoting. And I saw her, and I like punched the person I was with, and I was like, that's Cyndi Lauper. She's right there. And I was like,
that's a valid reaction,
freaking out. And she heard me, and she just kind of looked at me like, oh my God, please leave me alone. Like I'm getting ready to do a performance. Like this is not where I'm at. And I was like, shit. And I'm like screaming in the hallway, and like, and I was like, oh no. And the person I was with, who's like kind of like, she's a publicist, so she's like, this happens to her way more frequently. She was just like, okay. And I was like, really? Like that's it? Nobody
but
else?
It's Cyndi Lauper.
Just like
that's the only valid reaction. When you said that, both Melissa and my little Gen X mouths went
right.
Just
like,
at the same time. We had the same reaction.
She's amazing. She's just like all around valid. So cool.
I would as growing up as a little girl, I Dream of Jeannie was probably one of my first fandoms.
Yeah.
Star Trek and I Dream of Jeannie. And so now fast forward, I'm in my 40s. I was at a thing, and it may have been, I remember what it was. It was when we did a tea party for Shopkins with Moose Toys.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
As we were going in and we were trying to find our room, Barbara freaking Eden and her husband walked past us, and she still looked, I immediately knew it was her, and I did the thing I do every time I meet a famous person. I yelled really loud like you did, as if you say it loud enough, and I was just like, oh my God, that's Barbara Eden. And my son is like, he has no idea what's going on. He's like 10, and Bill is like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh my God. And she turned around and she did a polite smile nod thing. And I, at least at that point, had acquired enough social skills training to know that look meant, I do not want to speak with you. Please do not come up to me and start making excitement.
So, yeah.
yeah.
Didn't you tell me just recently after, did you guys just have Toy Fair?
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently? You met somebody else and did the same thing.
I know who you
met
met.
Nikki Six.
Yep.
Yeah. I was trying so hard. I mean, like, everybody was trying to help me, like, be where Nikki was going to be, and then Nikki wasn't being where Nikki was supposed to be. So he was there with his wife. So I'm leaving the Javits Center where Toy Fair is to go back to my hotel and collapse because I've just walked, like, 10 football fields of toys. And they're walking in the door that I'm walking out of. And I, being the mature adult I am, I went, holy shit, you're Nikki Six! Like, as if, first of all, he doesn't know who he is. I don't know why I always do that. And then
Melissa
he and
texted
his wife,
me. She was like, oh my God, I just embarrassed myself.
because he and his wife did the smile that they give you when they're like, is this going to be one of those deranged fans encounters, or can we just smile and nod and walk away? Like, I could see in their face they weren't sure. And I was like, let me not make this any more awkward than it already is. And I was like, and then I just kept going. But I also tripped over my own foot in the process. So it was really just peak cool.
If you are expecting to see a famous person, you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is like part of I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to happen. But it's like the moments that take you off guard where you're like, oh, and like you like are processing it in real time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I managed to meet, I can't do names. No, Gina Davis at a Women in Toys event. And I knew she was going to be there. So I was able to be respectful.
You were able to be cool
and just get a picture. Be cool. Just being my cool self.
My like first TV segment was with Queen Latifah. Like, she had a show and they were like, you're going to LA and you're going to do the Queen Latifah show. And I was like, what? And I was like, she was amazing. Like, she was so kind and down to earth and introduced herself to me with no makeup on. And like, you know what I mean? Like, so I immediately like felt way more comfortable, but I had a script, I was like, I could do this. This is fine. I'm not going to freak out. But it's always like the chance encounters. I saw Jake Gyllenhaal on the subway once, which is like it's like a funny, like, you're a real New Yorker when you've seen Jake Gyllenhaal on the subway, because he's always on the subway.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
But I remember like commuting to work, I'm like reading Game of Thrones, and I look up and I'm like, oh, and he's just sitting across from me, and he locks eyes with me and looks at me like, do not.
Yes.
Do not.
Yeah.
Don't
make it weird.
Okay. And then like just went back to reading my book, and that was it. Yeah.
So you might not know that I live where it's like the Hollywood of the South.
Mm-hmm.
I live down where they film all of the stuff down here in Atlanta.
So cool.
And so I was walking on my trail last year. We have 100 miles of golf cart trail where I live. And so I was walking on my trail, and I was just walking, and I was like, that guy looks so much like Jack Black. I wonder if people tell him that, and later on everybody in town has pictures of Jack Black. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, man.
He was just walking down the trail near my house. I was like, okay, what the heck?
Wow.
So strange.
He's someone I could see where you would see him and think he looks like him.
I just thought, man, that guy just looks, I wonder if he gets that. I wonder if people tell him that. And I just kept walking. But that was probably good, because I would have also embarrassed myself. So I'd rather just not say anything.
At least with celebrities, though, like, you don't really know them. But I have met several YouTubers and who thought I was insane, because, like, like when you watch people's like day in the life and their daily vlogs, and like you literally feel like you know them, and like to the point where you forget that these people have never met you. Like, you're coming in hot with like, oh my God. I remember years ago, like meeting Mike and Holly and being like, hi, oh my God, it's so, oh my God, I love her. And I'm like, and they're just looking at me like, who the F are you? Like, why are you? What's happening? And I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry.
Parasocial relationships are weird. They're weird.
It is weird.
People think
it
they
is
know
very
you.
weird. People think she's Dr. Squish.
I believe it.
It's like,
they do.
Yeah,
but that's
people
another
called me
thing.
Mommy for years.
I have never been, because I am Dr. Squish and so I'm on screen as Dr. I've never been recognized in public, because I'm not, so they don't see me like that in public.
Really?
Like, I'm just out of character, and I don't look like that and seem like that. So yeah, they don't recognize me ever. Even if I'm in the toy section of somewhere, nobody.
You're like, my face is on this box. You see it?
I had to tell someone that last week, because I was doing promo in Barnes and Noble for the Squishy Maker, and they got it for me and handed me the box. And they're like, here you go. I'm like, I need to take pictures of it. That's me right there. Is that okay?
See this lady? Yeah. Look
it's
familiar?
Just out of context. It's hard. We were talking about kids and adults kind of buying different toys, and so the adults are buying different things. But there is a place a lot of times where kids and adults mix.
Yeah.
And My Little Pony was a really good example of that. There was a lot of adults fans of My Little Pony. Mm-hmm. Do you find that to be strange in the toy industry when there's a big crossover between kid and adult I don't know, fans, people who are really buying the same stuff?
It happens all the time. We actually have a really amazing article coming out in the spring issue of Pop Insider, which comes out in May, about multi-gen appeal, right? Like brands that run the gamut, right? And the really old like example of this is Sesame Street, because Sesame Workshop knew from day one that kids were not watching the show alone. They're co-viewing it with parents. And so they were very careful always to craft the content in a way that it was for everyone. Like kids were going to learn a lesson, but there were jokes in there for parents. Today we have Bluey. I watch Bluey without my daughter. I watch it alone. And I like, it's amazing the lessons that you can learn. I was just watching one that was like, it's the dad's birthday and the kids want to make him breakfast. And the mom is like, all right, fine. Like, let's make him breakfast. And they're not doing anything right. Okay. The right way. Yeah. And the mom is getting super frustrated. And she's like, just go over there and play and let me make him breakfast. And so she makes like a picture perfect omelet. And then she sees the kids like off on their own playing with their dolls going, that's not how you do that. You're not doing this right. And then she's like, oh my God, what have I done? She throws away the perfect omelet. And she's like, just come and do it your way and make him a disgusting omelet. Who cares? And like, I'm watching that as a parent with OCD crying, being like, oh my God, like this is what I'm doing to my daughter. Like, it's just like, anyway, long story short, there's so many.
No, that's great.
Lessons to learn from these shows that are really meant to just be fun entertainment for kids. But like, obviously there's so much baked in there for adults too. SpongeBob's been around for 25 years. Like if you hear it in the background, is it an 8-year-old watching? Is it a 30-year-old? Like, who knows? Like you couldn't even guess, right?
We don't know.
My Little Pony, Care Bears is another huge one. They are so appealing to kids, but they're brands that have been around forever and we love them. Miss Rachel, her fans are too, and her fans are parents. Like parents love her just as much as kids love her because of everything that she offers. And I really love her content because she makes it different. So like there's the YouTube series for kids, but if you follow her on TikTok, it's like mom humor.
TikTok,
you know,
it's different.
Like and she knows that. She's like, well, kids aren't supposed to be watching me over here. This is for the moms.
Right.
So like, let me give them like funny stories of my messy bun and like whatever, you know what I mean? So like it just works. I just think there are so many brands who are doing such a good job at appealing to multiple generations at the same time with the same content, which is so interesting. Like I can get the same Care Bear for me and have it on my little toy display behind me that I can get for my daughter. Happens all the time. I'm always like, don't touch mommy's toys.
When you go to when you go to Hot Topic, for example, the Bluey thing really jumped out at me because like Loungefly is making Bluey bags. There was a lot of like really cute stuff for grown-up women was Bluey stuff. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this one's really
if you go to
crossing over.
Target lately has had like a huge I would say uptick in like all like the licensed t-shirts and stuff for adults. Like the women's section has Barbie, they have Strawberry Shortcake, they have My Little Pony, they have Bluey, they have just so many different fandoms that are old and new, but like typically a quote unquote kids fandom, but
kids
now adult products.
It's sad. I'm still boycotting Target, so I don't get to see any of this stuff. I haven't been to Target in months. It's so weird.
3 months at least.
So going back to Comic-Cons, New York Comic-Con 2013 was probably the last time I was able to go to Comic-Con in a wheelchair and get around because it became so like that. Even just the next year, I couldn't get through the people. I'm like, what happened? This isn't San Diego.
Yeah.
Why do you think the cons have grown so much? Is it become
So
more socially
much.
acceptable, or
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think it
a
is?
lot of geek culture has gone mainstream over the last decade.
Mainstream.
You know, like Marvel used to just be comic books and nobody read comic books, and then they were like these huge cinematic blockbusters and they have a way bigger draw. It's way
Anime.
Anime is, oh my
Anime
God,
is
especially
mainstream.
on the East Coast. In New York, anime is
It's
like huge, huge, huge.
down here too.
It's got a rabid fan base. Again, like there's just way more content to consume. And I think, yeah, I think a combination of it's going mainstream, there's so much more. Audiences are bigger than they've ever been because of streaming. Like now you have access to so much more content than you did. But also, especially in New York, like San Diego's a little different in that you get so many celebrities. There's so much that comes out of San Diego. New York is
Yeah.
way more community based. I've gotten to know the cosplay community in New York so well, and these people are all
Yeah.
so beautiful. They're all friends. Like it's such it's really about fans like coming together and just having fun and being geeks and enjoying each other's time. And it's so unserious and it's so fulfilling. Like being around people who are in their element, doing what they love at this show. That again, it's like watching your favorite shows, right? Like we've all been to this con every year for the last decade. Like it's familiar, it's comforting. And yeah, I think that's part of the reason that it's grown to be what it is. One thing that I also love
Yeah.
that I've noticed lately is there's so many more kids at the show. Like families
Yeah.
go together. It's like
Yep.
it's like a day at a theme park. You know what I mean? Like you're truly all there together, having fun, experiencing this wild and crazy thing, costumes, all the booths. There are so many artists, independent artists that get to go and showcase their work.
And Liza, you said that like you and your husband have been taking your daughter to cons, and you also were
Yes.
sort of indoctrinating your child into some of your favorite.
Yeah, do you go to Dragon Con?
Oh,
You're in.
we go to Dragon Con.
Yes.
Well, we have multiple cons down here, big cons, and the biggest one of the year is Dragon Con in Atlanta. And Atlanta is crazy. I mean, it is crazy because Dragon Con is spread out over several city blocks. I mean,
Yeah.
you
The
really
parade.
have to commit. You have to commit to Dragon Con, and the parade is they have a huge cosplay parade one day. They shut down the streets. Everybody who's cosplaying does the parade, and it doesn't matter which day you go, you're going to get a good experience, but it is exhausting. It's just like going to a theme park because you've walked miles and you've gone several floors of this huge merchandise mart of Artist Alley and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, my daughter, she's 14 now, but we started taking her when she was 8, and so she's really into cosplay. So she and her dad go and cosplay. I just hold the wigs and the hairspray and stuff, and I'm like touching up makeup when I go. And yeah, so they go and have a good time. But there's just so many families and so many fandoms, and everybody comes back every year. My husband has met so many people that he gets together with because they come every year, over and over.
That is so nice. I love that, and I love that that families are doing it together.
Dragon Con's a big
It's
one.
huge.
Big, crazy.
And like you guys
I
have
looked
such
at
great
it actually
weather.
during the week.
It's the weather.
It's so hot
get to
though
be-
because we do it in September, but it is still summertime and everybody's melting in their cosplay.
I know.
It is a lot.
Yeah, Dragon Con looks very cool, but that sounds like one that my body would be like, no, honey,
It's
we're
a
not
lot.
doing
It's
that."
because you have to walk between all of the hotels to go. So if you want to see the
Right.
celebrities, you go to this place, and then you're 2 blocks down to go to Artist Alley, and then somewhere else to do a panel, and it's a lot.
Oh, no. Okay. That's sad. I was excited about that. So just to let everybody know, I wrote some really lame interview questions. Like my notes this week are not really that interesting, but I do want to ask you one of my questions that was on here because you may have thought of an answer because you've had these questions for a little while. So I want to know if you could be dropped into the fictional world of one of your fandoms, where would you want to go and why? And we can all answer that one actually.
Yeah, I did think about this, and it's a hard one to answer, but I do think my answer is probably Hogwarts, but not necessarily because of anything other than it's got that old timiness to it. Like, I would love to experience a screen free existence where like your extracurriculars involve like walking around a downtown. That sounds lovely. And you know, brewing up a potion for an entire month. That sounds low stakes, low stress. You know?
Yeah.
I can fix things by like waving a wand gently. Like that sounds kind of nice. I don't know. There's just like things about it that I'm like, yes, I think I can handle this level of life.
It's also a good answer because I was thinking, as I was trying to find a place, I love stories set in the Middle Ages, but I also would never want to live in the Middle Ages. So I was really struggling.
I like indoor plumbing.
With that. But see, that's a good
indoor plumbing is nice.
That's
you know.
I think maybe I would have to go to Hogwarts with you.
Yeah, I could avoid
because you're right.
Yeah,
as long as we're not like not in the bad times, like happy Hogwarts.
Right. Yes. I think
before everything went really bad.
Before, after, you know, somewhere in there.
Liza, any ideas?
Oh my God, I didn't come up with an answer.
That's okay.
I didn't come up with an answer, and I'm thinking through all my fandoms. Like that would be horrible to live there. Every fandom I'm having, like, oh no, they're in a horrible war. Oh no, they're actually killing each other in that one. No, all my fandoms seem kind of brutal now that I think about it. Like, geez.
I think we all have to go to Hogwarts together.
Yeah, goodness.
We'll just be over here in Hufflepuff.
Angel Grove might be a great place. You know, from Power Rangers. We're like, the worst problems.
You pulled out the Power Rangers.
The worst problems could be solved by teenagers. That's
right.
That's not bad. Like that means that the problems have to be not that bad. You know?
Oh my God, when we started YouTube like 10 years ago, before we did Dr. Squish, we started by doing like Power Rangers parodies.
I love that.
My husband and my kid, who she was only like 4, they would like get dressed up in full Power Rangers, and they'd be running around like Japan in the parks and just like fighting each other.
I need to see these videos.
Oh my God. We did used to do that.
You need to share that with us.
I was the cameraman while their little fighting sessions.
It's so funny. I actually just bought, so you can't, do you remember the movie from the 90s, the Power Rangers movie with Ivan Ooze? It's nowhere. It doesn't stream. It's not streaming. You cannot find it. It is like off the planet. I have no idea why. And I had to just I bought a DVD of this movie from eBay like 2 weeks ago because I was like, there's no way my daughter's not watching this. Like it's like I need this in my life. And so I had to buy a DVD on eBay.
Now that is somebody who's at every con I've ever been to. The Power Rangers are all up in there, all up in those cons. Every Power Ranger is going to be at a con. The voices, the actors, they're there.
So good.
Yeah. We're going to circle around now to the Harry Potter and She Who Shall Not Be Named of it all, because I think it's something that a lot of fans have been struggling with for a while. We'll take it from an industry perspective. We'll start there and then we'll just go off. So does it look like the Harry Potter franchise has been hurt at all by any of this?
No, I don't think so. No. I think the merchandising and licensing programs are super strong. This all started like to kick off when the Hogwarts Legacy video game came out, and it still had huge numbers, massive sales. It's a great game. And everything is continuing. You know, there's a whole new theme park at Epic Universe. Like they're just carrying forward with the brand, and the fans are still the fans, and they're still responding. So I don't see firsthand anything that's, you know, really impacted the brand as a whole. But I will say that they've also done a lot of work to separate her from it. You know, like it's very much Wizarding World, not the Harry Potter books written by J.K. Rowling, you know, so I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I was disappointed to hear that she is part of the new TV show. I was hoping that they would say, like, no, we
same way they did with Neil Gaiman for Good Omens. They just separated and they're like, we're not going to be part of this, so that the fans can continue to consume.
I have to imagine it's a legal thing, you know, like contractually, she probably owns some level of the license that means that she has to be involved or get some sort of creative, you know, say.
Of course. I think a lot of people talk about, separating the art from the artist, and it had so many fans that of course that's what we want to do. And unfortunately, when someone is still alive and very much part of it, if you're purchasing the art, you are supporting the artist, unfortunately. But the greatest thing about Harry Potter, and Melissa and I have talked a little bit about this, is it's so old and it was so popular, you never have to give her another dime if you don't want to. Yes. Everything Harry Potter is on eBay. The thrift stores are full of Harry Potter. Etsy has more beautiful wands than they sell. Right now, I could go on my Facebook Buy Nothing site and say, hey, who has Harry Potter? And 10 people would, pop up and say, we've got it. You can have it. You just don't really have to ever give her another cent if you don't want to. But I do think that you have to accept that, like, if you go out in Harry Potter merch, some people are going to automatically think you follow J.K. Rowling's politics, maybe. They're automatically going to think you're not an ally, and that's their right to think so, I suppose. Yeah. But, I mean, it's kind of a touchy thing.
It is. It's really, really hard because these were... my son got through third grade where he had like the world's worst, most horrible, evil teacher. She was like Dolores Umbridge of our local school system. And he got through it by reading the Harry Potter books, in his desk. So that was the way he survived. And there was a lot of magic and a lot of goodness. And that's the hard part, is then, to be where we are with her. But I remember... that when those books were coming out and the families used to read the books aloud together.
Yeah.
And when has that ever happened?
We did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just...
Yeah. It's complicated. It's even complicated in that when you think about the messaging in the books, it's all about inclusivity and acceptance and fighting against people who think the world should be homogenous. And that's why I think that is the crux of why it's so difficult. But when you're talking about a text that impacted so many loner kids in such a huge way and made them feel part of something bigger and sparked this like complete joy over decades, like it's so hard to just be like, oh, I can't like this anymore, because like people change, you know what I mean? Maybe her views when she wrote the book were much different than her views now, or maybe not. I mean, the books were banned. That's another crazy thing, is like she was a banned author in so many countries and schools around the world. And
because magic, it's the devil.
The witches.
So this is what I wrote when I thought I was having a moment. So there's these whole multiple generations have been transformed by the magic of these books. I think that it was too much power for her, too much, and she actually did a Voldemort. Like she went over to like it just tipped her into a weird place. Because she's not just, that's the sad thing is she's not just having this viewpoint. She's having it in like a gleeful evil villain way.
Yeah.
That the last thing.
Technically, she never has to tweet out a thing. That she doesn't have to do that. She's doing it on purpose.
Like she has a lot of conviction.
I think if you look at her more recent text, I don't know that she thinks she's helping now. It's more like I am
like doubling
against
down
this group of people. Yes, doubling down. I'm against this group, and you need to know about it, and here's why.
Yeah.
It's less now about helping women, because I don't see her tweeting out about gender equality and diversity in the workplace. I don't see her actually trying to help women in a meaningful way. It's just hurting this group in whatever she considers a meaningful way.
Like she somehow adopted that as part of her identity. I mean, last week, I think it was last week, where she posted that picture after the UK passed their new horrific, like, what is going on in the world? But, and it was her with a cigar and a drink. And she's like, I love it when a plan comes together. And that was so like mustache twirling evil villain shit.
Yeah.
She's become a villain, and she's like kind of relishing it. And that is, but like Liza said, like my approach to it is I love that world. I love the books. I love the movies.
Me too.
But not ever giving her another dime. So just
I gave her a lot of money in my past.
Yeah.
I did. We've been to Universal. I bought the merch and the books. So we have all the books. So we have all the books. And very recently, I let my daughter read all the books. So it's not like I'm keeping her away from it. But I won't line her pocket at the same time.
Yeah. I think that makes total sense. And I think as long as everyone has like space to still love the things that they love, those books changed my life. They informed my literal entire career, my entire my identity is so tied to it. And that's why it's like uncoupling that is insanely difficult,
It's a lot of what you were talking about earlier, though, that we just have so much at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Because there's so many authors, let's say, who have died now, wrote things a long time ago. They were also horrible people.
Oh my God. And
people
you just
didn't know about it until later. Or they'd never know about it. So, it's just that that's what I'm saying. She doesn't have to tweet out every thought. She doesn't have to say, like, be quiet. Let people like your stuff and just hush.
Right.
I think it's just we don't have to know everything about everybody all the time.
Yeah. Like one of my absolute favorite books of all time that was formative for me. I read it in 1982 when it came out, and I was like a freshman in high school, and it was Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. And then I read all of the Avalon books, and I was, obsessed with her. I did not find out until I was in my 50s, and then I saw an article on it that she and her husband were actually horrible human beings and did some really bad stuff.
Yes.
I'm not defending anything, but I'm just saying that people make awful mistakes. They go down paths. They feel compelled to go down a certain path, and maybe it'll change, or maybe not, or maybe it just goes so far in another direction. At least we still have this thing that was put out that is beautiful, that made a huge difference to so many kids and even adults.
And feel seen, some of them for the first time. Like I could really tell, like a lot of these engineers were the kids that were othered, and they didn't fit in. I mean, these are some of the most brilliant people I've ever met in my life that I worked with back then. And for them, personally, Harry Potter had so much, because it's almost their story of this kid that was like, living under the stairs in a closet. But then when he went to this special school, he found out that he was a wizard. Well, when they finally when they found computers, when they found software engineering, when that was like a new thing, they finally found their identity, what they were good at, their people, where they could have a community. And so Harry Potter meant so much to them, and it means so much to so many people. So it's a tough one.
I think everybody just has to hold space for everybody else. Like, yes, we love it, and we'll continue to love it, even if we don't support her. But I also completely understand the people who have just given it up. I understand them as well. I understand it.
For me, that whole
whatever you need to do.
Yeah. That whole character to me is like highlights the importance of and the possibility of being chosen by people. Right? He had no family. There was no one who had to love him. And what he did as a baby, like, he didn't do. Like the killing of Voldemort, he was a baby. He didn't do it. He wasn't responsible, but people chose to love him. He had chosen and found family. And I think that goes such a long way with people when you don't have that at home, right? Like if you don't have that in your home life, and the people who are supposed to just love you for who you are don't. But these other people who can really see you and accept you anyway, I think that's like such a great message. And thankfully, books don't have opinions and they don't change. So we can still like them.
Yes.
Right?
We can still love that story. It's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. Did you go see the Broadway show, the 8-hour, it's Cursed Child, right? I'm not
8 hours?
Yeah.
It's in 2 pieces. Yeah, you have to buy tickets to 2 shows. And so you go to like the matinee, and then you get a dinner break, and then you come back and you go to a whole second show.
I did not know that. That's the first time I've heard that.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. It's the theatrics behind the magic are just.
So did you like the story?
I did. I like this.
A lot of people. I liked it too. A lot of people didn't like that story. I liked it
because you know what? It's totally different. The whole story is about like breaking generational trauma. That's a very different theme.
Yeah.
But the show itself has so much magic baked into it, and the soundtrack is all Imogen Heap. I don't know.
Heap.
So what's coming in your fandoms? Anything coming out this summer or this year or anything that you're excited about, Marissa?
Oh gosh, I didn't think I would be, but Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all time, right? And I did not love all the new movies, but Rebirth sold me, and I don't know if it's just because my boy's in it, but it sold me. I watched that trailer and I was like, I'm seeing this one. This looks really, really good.
Okay. Awesome.
I could watch Jonathan Bailey do anything. Doesn't matter. So yes, please.
I've seen Wicked 7 times. I've seen Bridgerton, all of Bridgerton, including like rewatching Queen Charlotte at least 3 times so far. Love Jonathan Bailey.
I love him.
And
I'm actually reading Wicked right now, and it is so good. Like the book compared to the movie and compared to the Broadway show is like super sexy and so different, and I'm obsessed. It's really, really good. There's like a lot of books in the series, so I'm thrilled to keep going.
I only ever read the first one, but I do actually somewhere have 2 of the other ones because someone gave them to me as a set, and I don't I think maybe I had a baby or I don't know. But Wicked is Wicked the book is like different than Wicked the stage show, which is different than Wicked the movie. But it's all a beautiful universe of, again, found family, finding yourself, self-acceptance, being the oddball out, and turns out, oh, that's actually part of your superpower, you know? Like, isn't that what we all want? I'm still waiting to find my superpower.
And that comes out in November, right? The second movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm excited about this year.
Yeah. I feel like I've lost touch with what's coming out anywhere. I mean, I'm excited about The Boys.
I'm excited about something that you told me. This is a Melissa confession. I'm really excited about Lilo and Stitch live action coming out. I love Lilo and Stitch, and it's part of mine and my daughter's like bonding Lilo and Stitch from when she was little. And Melissa's
never seen Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, it's a weird one.
It's just a weird gap in my repertoire. Maybe I'll do that this weekend so I can put that shame
don't have to.
rest.
But I loved that movie, and
everybody loves that movie.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
brutal.
never just sat down and watched it.
It's brutal. Yeah,
we did live in we did live in Japan for like 8 years, and so they are huge on Lilo and Stitch, and they actually had their own Lilo and Stitch anime that wasn't here. So we were big on that. So I'm excited about that one coming out. That live action looks so cute.
Yeah, that one looks like it might be okay. I have not been a big fan of the live action Disney.
Me neither.
Remakes.
No one has.
So.
Right?
Yeah.
Although
this one actually looks really
do
cute.
recommend just watching them with very small humans who don't have good opinions, because then you will like them more. I took my daughter to see Snow White, and she was so like just entranced and thought it was so magical and so great that I was like, yeah, this was a good movie, right? Yeah, no, everyone hated it. Okay,
yeah. My daughter liked Aladdin, and I remember everybody hated that, but she liked the live action Aladdin a lot.
That actually,
we went to see that one.
I really did like that. I mean, Cinderella's my favorite.
It was beautiful on the big screen.
Yeah.
It was like beautiful to see.
Same thing. That's another one that like the Broadway show is so good just because the theatrics are so impressive. Like the quick changes and the parades and the like everything that they do. You're just like, how are they pulling this off? The genie comes through a hole in the floor that's like this big. You're like, what's happening?
Crazy.
So, Marissa, we want to thank you so much for being our first interviewee and being really interesting too.
Please have me back all the time. This is so fun.
Oh my gosh, we would absolutely love that, because we're so obsessed with so many different things.
So many different things.
And we also want new things, like
so many different toys. Like I'm sure every one of us can look around, and we're all surrounded by tons of toys in the room that we're in. We're in right now. Here's my team. Literal toys, like there you go. There's the Impala, like, just all over.
Yeah, I have.
It's great.
They're all behind me, but I have.
I mean, I'm even sitting here like, hold on.
Okay, that's the thumbnail.
Tanuki.
I love it.
Everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
All over.
Yeah. So, and everybody, you guys definitely want to check out the Pop Insider and the Toy Insider. There will be links and stuff. Especially if you're into fandoms, the Pop Insider is so cool. Just learning about what's coming, but also like great articles, like you talked about this whole intergenerational thing. I'm looking forward to that edition.
Thank you. So it was good to see you again. Actually, the last time I saw you was at.
I know. I was going to say it's been a couple years, right? Yeah, good to see you too. Thanks,
we'll get
guys.
her back up to sweet. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
That was so cool. We did an interview.
Yeah, we did.
We did it. We did a little Dora song here. Thank you, Liza, for another amazing week of the Fandomly Speaking podcast.
Yeah, it was fun. So our first interview went pretty well.
We did it. Yeah. So please subscribe and follow wherever you are consuming our media.
And check out our Patreon. We actually have behind the scenes, backstage stuff. Super
games,
fun stuff over there.
Fun games. Yes, we do. We have merch. And we kind of...
I'm excited about the merch.
Yes. So right now it's just a couple of t-shirts and a mug, but we were just really, really excited. So we're like, okay, we'll just hang on a little merch.
So where are we selling merch, Melissa?
On Spring, which used to be called Teespring and is now called Spring. And there are links down below for that, for the Patreon, for all of our social media, all the stuff.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us, and make sure and leave, if you are commenting, where you want us to go next, what fandoms you want us to talk about, because we're excited to talk about what you guys want to talk about too.
We now that we're, by the time this goes out, we will be public. People will be watching the podcast, and we cannot wait to hear all of the stuff that you have to say and share with us. And until we see you next week,
stay unmasked and overstimulated.
Yes. Love it. Thanks for watching. Bye.